Hey everyone, it's Herb Potter with Adaptive Consulting Engineers, and we're going to be doing a video series on some inspector trainings. First and foremost, one of the ones that we have a lot of issues and challenges with are final measurements. Used to be included as part of what was the prep and doc manual for us old folks, and it got moved into CPAM, and we're going to break it down into individual topics within the series. For this one, we're going to start with plan quantity items and understanding plan quantity concept. Plan quantity concept is essentially, the engineer's done their work in the design, and the quantities are pretty much solid, shouldn't be any issues. The difference being is that a lot of people think that plan quantity items never get measured or don't need to be quantified, and that is the case with the exception of authorized changes. So if your PA in the field says, hey, we're going to go ahead and add this section of sidewalk, or we're going to remove additional concrete here. Well, that's actually a measured item, but we're going to add some sidewalk here. We're going to add some curb work here. Those are plan quantity items that you're going to be making a change to, and you have to know how to measure and support that documentation for the final estimate. One of the challenges that we find a lot of times, again, is that people don't understand the concepts of what those things mean and what they should and shouldn't be doing. So we're going to go into CPAM for a second. And this is section 5.15, and we will come down to I believe they have the definition of plan quantity concept in here. It's giving me final measured items. Let me see here. Plan quantity pay items. And it gives you basically area IDs, how it's supposed to be doing. Basically, plan quantities will not be final measured. Only changes in the field are plan errors. That is true, but what we're talking about here is kind of a verification of quantities. And we're going to use pipe as an example. Storm pipe that gets placed is a plan quantity item. And where you find that information is in the specification sections. There's two important key things to look for in every specification: method of measurement and basis of payment. And you have to read the way they're worded. In the case of pipe, section 430-11, the quantity of storm and cross drain, storm drain, side drain, gutter drain installed by pipe covered option material to be paid for will be the plan quantity in place and accepted. The plan quantity will be determined from inside wall to inside wall and from station offset for end treatments as shown in the plans along the center line of pipe. Pretty simple concept. A lot of times what happens is people count pipe joints and they'll put some information in there and guesstimate what it was going into the structure. It doesn't hurt to have a 300-foot tape in your truck, 200-foot tape. Pull a tape inside wall to inside wall and just run a check on it. This isn't for measuring it, not necessarily for quantity purposes, but if there's a difference from that and the plan quantity that exceeds 3 feet, you may have another problem, like your structures are in the wrong place, their alignment is not correct, survey could be off. There's a lot of things, but it gives you some insight into that item, that might be something wrong, and you can alert your PA or senior inspector and say, hey, I pulled a tape and this doesn't look right. The other part of this is the basis of payment. It's full compensation for all work specified in the section. No separate payment will be made for bituminous coating, concrete collars, concrete jackets. That includes everything, excavation down to the pipe, backfill placement. If they choose to use flowable fill, that's included in the cost of the pipe. All of their efforts that are required to do the work. It kind of gives you that one. There's another one to add into that, let's say drainage structures. And drainage structures are paid also by plan quantity, but they're also one each. Well, that doesn't mean that when they put in the bottom of a 3-piece structure, you report a payment for the whole structure. It's a 3-piece structure. You need to get with your PA and your CSS and find out how they break those down and what they use to determine what that percentage is. Happens kind of in sign support structures too. If you have mast arms or if you have overhead cantilever signs, the drill shaft that is the foundation for that sign or signal is included in the cost. So there's a percentage for performing that drill shaft work that should be reported as a percentage of complete for the overall structure. So if it's a mast arm, and the mast arm is 1, 0.25, 0.35, 0.45, there's a percentage that that drilled shaft takes up of that cost of the structure. And that's something that you want to be reporting that to your PA or CSS, and then get with them first to find out what they think that is. But in short, the plan quantity concept are items that are identified by the plan. They're based on plan measurements, items like sidewalk, curb and gutter, and we're talking about plan quantity, not lump sum. There's a difference there too, and we'll cover that in the lump sum video. But those are some examples of those items and where to find them. In the case of pipe, for at least this spec year, which is July of 22, you're looking at section 430-11, and that's new pipe installed by trenching that I was reading, and then basis of payment is 430-12. So that's just a good place to start, and to help you kind of, if you're confused about where to go and where to look and what plan quantity concept actually means. Thanks, guys.